is up and I just hit an hour. I definitely thought I was gonna be more tired, but I actually feel completely fine. I have 3.5 hours basically left in a summer affair, and I would say before the hour I just spent reading, I would say it was like at a solid 3.5 rating. Now I would say it's at a solid 4. I am really loving it. Like, for sure this is the perfect book if you're gonna do a 24-hour reading challenge, or like you want to binge a book, like be really invested in the characters. I love this one because I feel like one thing Ellen does really well is give a ton of characters, but they're really well-rounded and completed characters. It's not just like adding people in with quirks and traits just for like the heck of it. I always feel like I'm actually reading about real people, and it's really fun. It's giving tea, it's giving rich people drama, and what can I say? I really love it. My kids have not been waking up until like 9, 10 since summer started, so I still have like 2-3 hours of pure silence. The sun is now up completely, and why was waking up at 5:30 to read kind of like fun? It's kind of nice, honestly. I might just start doing this just because. Did I just fall asleep for an hour? Yes. Good morning. I had to gather myself for a second because the morning was taking me out already. Welcome to today's video. We're obviously doing a 24-hour reading challenge, but make it fun. Make it cute, make it girly. I feel like everything else I do is very soft girl vibes, like chill, it's not that serious. So I want my 24-hour challenge to have those same vibes. Like, I'm gonna try to do the challenge to the best of my ability, but I'm not promising that I won't sleep because, like, let's be real, I turned 27 in like 2 months and I just cannot stay up for a full 24 hours anymore. Like, I'm not 19 anymore, and I recognize that, but I felt like because the reading corner is now officially done, we needed a reading challenge with this chair. Basically, this is gonna be your guys' view for the next 24 hours. I feel like this is such a great way. Not only the challenge is fun, but I feel like what makes it fun is knowing that, like, if there are a lot of books that you want to read in a month, this is a perfect way to be like, cut out time in your schedule to be like, I'm just gonna read for this amount of time. Like, it doesn't also have to be 24 hours, like it could be 12 hours or something. I mean, that's still crazy, but it is really fun. Okay, it's been 4 hours, 20 hours left. I'm still reading A Summer Affair. Like, let's see how far I am in this. The chapters are so long. Like, on my Kindle, it said one of the chapters was 1 hour and 45 minutes. I have 45 minutes left in the current chapter, so I think that's also what's hard is, like, the chapters are so long. That's encouraging. Grayson, no. No. Actually, I think I'm on page like 260 something. I need to find my exact spot. But either way, I mean, that's like a decent chunk. There are 404 pages in this book, so just a little bit over 100 pages left. And I do need a bookmark. I always use my Taylor Swift ones because they're so fun. I feel like I need to use, I need to choose one with happiness and tolerate on it. Yes, that's very much this book vibes. It's really sad. I feel like, okay, so obviously it's called The Summer Affair, and I also had just read 28 Summers, and both of those have cheating, adultery in them. And I always find it so interesting I always find it so interesting. I've read 2 of her books. Calm down. But I find it so interesting when the characters are doing things that I obviously would never dream of doing, think of doing. I do not think it's okay. Yet she makes the characters so beautiful and complex that you like empathize with them in a way. Like, you understand why they're doing what they're doing, although you think it's wrong. Like, I feel like I'm very much Siobhan in this book. Well, that's not her name. Her name is spelled Siobhan. I think that's Siobhan, right? Very much resonate with her, how she is acting towards Claire. But I also like have just such a soft spot for Claire. I don't know, man.
very green, and the black is the ice.
Ooh, that's beautiful. That is a perfect matcha. Throw this away for me. Thanks, King.
It's cinematic, love like fire on the big screen.
This is so hard because, like, imagine your friend, your closest, bestest friend, cheating on her husband. Like, what would you do? Throw away the friendship? Surely not. Tell her husband? Surely not, right? Like, this is an impossible situation. Ugh. Need to figure out, does Ellen Hildebrand live on Nantucket? Is that why she knows so much about it? Or all of this just like fictionally made up? I have a feeling like Ellen actually has firsthand experience with Nantucket and Cape Cod and Hyannis and all of that. I feel like that would just be ideal for me to believe that about her. But I feel like she did such a good job. Like in 28 Summers, you got the organic, beautiful, beachy, barbecuing burgers and eating watermelon vibes. Like, you know what I mean? Like chilling on a sailboat for the day, and like that's your activity for the day, and it's gorgeous, stunning, beautiful, but you like live in a small house and you slowly renovate it. Like, I just love that setting. Like, that was perfection to me. The setting of this book is much more like rich people, big houses, expensive things. I mean, like, all the women are like serving on this committee, putting together this gala, and like that's their full-time job. I just think that's kind of cool how Ellen is able to pull from all parts of Nantucket, Cape Cod, and like create stories out of it. I just love that part. I have a huge feeling that everything is about to blow up. I'm 82% in, and I have an hour 25 minutes left. I'm already thinking about what book I'm going to start next, but I'm loving this one. Come on, give me the two. The best part so far is that I genuinely have no 7.5 hours in, and I just finished A Summer Affair. I would have finished it sooner if I hadn't fallen asleep. I actually feel really well rested, so I feel like I'm definitely gonna be able to make it through the rest of the day. I think I would rate A Summer Affair 4 stars. I really liked it. I thought that the ending was gonna be way more shocking, but I also do love that you literally don't know what is going to happen, literally up until the last second. Like, you literally have no idea. I also love how real the affair was. Ellen did not just paint it as like this magical, beautiful affair and like people can just be in love with whoever they want and do whatever they want and no one ever faces any repercussions or is found out or anything. Like, there is a lot of tea and there's a lot of bad things that happen because of their actions, and I love that she showed that. There's also a quote. She says, "The worst things about adultery, it seemed, were countless. Sin, bad things you think will have no consequences, they always do. Sin, bad things always overpromise and underdeliver." I also love this part. It says, "The holes that Jason left were the ones that Locke could fill. He could tell Claire she was beautiful. He could talk to her about her work. He could appreciate her, treat her gently, tenderly. He could clip poems out of the New Yorker or copy passages out of novels and know that the words and the sentiments were fresh." I feel like I also felt like this in 28 Summers. It is so important who you marry. You don't want to end up in a position where like the person you married does not understand you and does not seek to like know you and love you and be tender to you and appreciate you. And I think it's an important message to spouses to be that to your current spouse. Like, show up. Don't just like settle into a marriage and be like, well, now I have this person, I don't need to continue to pursue them or care about what they care about or be loving and tender to them. We all want to be loved, especially by our spouses, especially by the people that we've chosen. So overall, I really love this book. It was sweet. I think she did a great job. I also love this quote from Locke. It just says, "She was darling, he wanted her." I love that. Actually, I also love this part too. When the affair starts, it says, "She was drinking wine and her cheeks flushed. She was a woman and a girl at the same time." A lot of us are moms and we're taking care of our kids today. We're married and we're cooking and we're cleaning and doing all the things. But I think that there's always still a part of us that like just longs to be seen as a girl, like not a mom or not just a wife or not like all the things in the work. In a sense, I feel like a lot of us still hold on to. I feel like so many of us are trying to reconnect with our younger selves while also still being like mature women who have responsibilities. By our spouses, sometimes we just want to be seen as like a girl who needs love and like wants to be swept off her feet. You know what I mean? Dance with me in the kitchen and tell me I'm gorgeous and tell me I'm your queen. Like, I'm just a girl. Next, I want to read Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. It's her new release. It's actually releasing today. I pre-ordered it, so my package is like literally 20 minutes away. But obviously the clock is going, so I need to start something else. I started Tom Lake on audiobook because Meryl Streep is the voice of it, and it's stunning, gorgeous, beautiful. Like, she's a queen. I love how she tells stories. And so I feel like I could just keep reading this while I'm kind of waiting. I'm like at the end of chapter 10. Let's see how far that is. Over halfway. So I'm on page 155 of 309.
For whatever reason, I took this to be a serious question. Love in my lab? No. Wait. Since I realized that I didn't...
I'm gonna make burgers, but I'm still listening to Tom Lake. I kind of want to finish this before I start Ali Hazelwood's new book. We're almost 9 hours in exactly. I have 2 hours left on Tom Lake. A little sleepy. Yummy. I'm just gonna lay here and close my eyes for a little bit. Guys, when I tell you I am a sleepy woman, I'm saying like I really, especially because I don't have anything else to do, as I made myself too available in order to film this video. So now I'm like, wait, I have nothing on my to-do list, so I like don't have anything to do while I listen to this. Like, I already prepped our burgers, I cut the watermelon, I just made lunch and ate, and now I'm like, I need to sit down and read. Kind of making me sleepy, but I'm just gonna sit here, close my eyes, and listen to Meryl Streep. And I'm really loving her voice in this story. Like, she just has the perfect voice, perfect cadence. It's just spectacular.
Nell said to me, her eyes closed. She had been asleep all afternoon, and I was sitting there turning hems because, unbelievably, people were bringing their sewing by. Tom Lake, a novel by Anne Patchett. Presented.
I'm done. I'm like 11 hours in exactly. And I'm glad I could close my eyes while I was listening, because I was like, okay, I'm getting to the point where I'm a little bit tired of reading. And that's scary because we still have 13 more hours. Should I start Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood? I don't even know what this is about. Let me read the back. Bruce Seibert might not have it all, but she has enough. A few friends. Biotech engineer until a hostile takeover and its offensively attractive frontman threatened to bring it all crumbling down. Okay, I'm sad to say, but I don't know if I want to read this right now. I just read 2 romances, and I feel like a 3rd romance might be too much. But I was thinking I could pick something off of my TBR that we used the TBR jar for in the beginning of the month. Okay, the books I'm actually interested in reading right now. Stalking Jack the Ripper, because I just feel like that would be fun. The Tempest of Tea. I already read After I Do. Something not romance, like something not cutesy romance, you know? Oh, I didn't even tell you my thoughts about Tom Lake. Tom Lake, I really loved. I basically hardly read any of it. Meryl Streep's voice was just too good, and I would probably rate this a solid 4. Like, I really liked it. I don't know if I would like it though if I didn't listen to the audio. Genuinely, I think that I would just kind of be like, don't care enough about the story to just sit here and read how many pages? 309? I just don't know. But it was really interesting because you have Meryl Streep recounting her love life to a man who ends up becoming a really famous actor. She's basically recounting the story to her daughters, and her daughters like asking all the questions, like, how did you become in love with Dad? How did you end up loving him? And I feel like that made it interesting to listen to because it is a very storytelling centered book. I would say audiobook this one. Now between Stalking Jack the Ripper and A Tempest of Tea, I need to read what Jack the Ripper is about. 317, that's not that bad. He murdered women in cold blood. He terrorized an entire city. He taunted those of us who hunted him down. But despite all these horrors, in the end, I could not deny it. I was the girl who loved the Ripper. Okay, let's try it. You know, let's try it. Ooh, this is the picture on the first page. Honestly, I feel like I need to read some reviews on Goodreads to like hype myself, because I don't know if I want to read this right now. This is the problem with 24-hour reading challenges, is you eventually kind of start to enter a little slump. Made it 12 hours in, we're halfway done, and I fear that the scariest part is ahead of us because I have to make it through the night. But I'm excited to be halfway done, and it's going good. I'm reading Stalking Jack the Ripper on my Kindle.
Science never abandoned the way religion had that night. Forsaking the Holy Father was
Cheese first is crazy. Here, babies. Almost 14 hours in. I'm sorry, but I need to like get up and do something. I quite frankly cannot lay in that seat any longer. I am really enjoying Stalking Jack the Ripper though, and I'm reading it on Audible, or not Audible. I'm reading it on Spotify while I still have hours, and I'm on chapter 6, and the chapters are really short, which I enjoy. I think chapter 6 is only maybe page like 70, so I'm really waiting to get to like page 100, because I feel like in every book that I read, like when I get to page 100 is when things start actually happening. So I'm excited to get to that point. But for the past 2 days, I've been going on runs, and so I'm gonna go on a little run right now and then come home and take a shower. So I'll just listen to it while I run and take a shower. And I was scared that the audio of it was gonna be really bad coming after Meryl Streep. Like Meryl Streep is queen, but it actually sounded really good. I think it's set in London, so the people have accents, and I find that to be really cool. So it's going great. Interesting premise. So basically her uncle is that a lobotomist, or like what is that when they like take apart dead people to figure out what happened to them? But he's like a professor of moratoria. I'm just joking. This is what happens when I just lay down and read all day. Like my brain is not braining. I'm just joking. Okay. Either way, he basically works on dead people, and he has a niece who is interested in that study, but because it's like back in time, women weren't really allowed to study that. So she dresses as a boy in order to study it. There's a boy in her class that always is starting to kind of flirt with her. So I'm not sure who like the love interest is, because it's called Stalking Jack the Ripper. I don't know. I know it's like a whodunit though, because that's what it says in the beginning. I guess now we're getting to the part where she's gonna start stalking Jack the Ripper and fall in love with him, and we're gonna figure out who Jack the Ripper is. I'm really enjoying this readathon so far, because I am so far behind on my reading goal this year, which is 100 books. I think I read 23 so far, which last year I think I read like 35 books. So in terms of like this year to last year, I'm doing phenomenal. In terms of my overall reading goals, Goodreads tells me I'm like 21 books behind. So if I could read 2 more books in this video, like finish Stalking Jack the Ripper and then maybe read the Ali Hazelwood book next, I would be like very happy with this video, because that means I would finish 4 books, making me only like 17 books behind. I'm sorry, but 17 feels a lot more doable than 23 books behind or 21 books behind. First day I ran, it's like officially hot in Texas now, like it's summer here for sure. And on my thigh right here, it's like literally chafing. Yesterday I was legitimately bleeding. I'm in shorts gel currently, and I'm only allowed to wear biker shorts for the foreseeable future because I've been running in shorts and I've been fine. But I guess maybe because like the weather, it's too hot. This is my fit so far. I need to put my shoes on and my Apple Watch. This is the best lip balm for everything. It stays on and you don't have to reapply. But also like sleeping, also just casually in the middle of the day. It lasts for so long. It has a little bit of a minty texture, so it's like very clean girl approved. Just amazing. It's my, I bought 2 of them because I love them that much. It's also too hot now to run in my Bose headphones. So I'm gonna run in my Beats. It's the over the, oh my goodness. It like is incredibly way too hot. So I'm gonna run with my Beats. Listen to my audiobook, drink some water.
When I first opened the door, I was like, did Caitlin put a surprise for me?
Went to the store, and then when I was walking back, I realized I was like being followed and came home and had a little meltdown about that. Actually crazy that I cannot peacefully walk to the store, get ingredients for some banana bread. Like, please, like I just cannot even believe that is real. It drives me to want to cry. That's how ridiculous it is. Anyway, I'm gonna continue listening to Jack the Ripper while I take a shower, and then I think we're gonna make some banana bread for the night because it is gonna be a long night.
I enjoy finally. I tried imagining myself chattering on about a napkin to father's former valet who insulted the kitchen regarding one of our victims.
10:17. I started this challenge at 5:30. Am I gonna make it through the night? I guess we shall see. It's been 16 hours, 43 minutes, and I'm like 100 and something pages into Stalking Jack the Ripper. I'm really trying to actually read it fast so that I can read Not in Love by Ali Hazel. That's what it's called, right? Yeah, Not in Love. 127 pages out of 300 in Stalking Jack the Ripper. So my Kindle says 37% through. So I don't know, but I'm gonna listen to it. I actually think I prefer reading it than I do listening to it. I think sometimes the narrator's voice is a little bit cringy because there are, like in the beginning of the book, although it's supposed to be set like in the Victorian time in London, they did try to modernize it a lot, and there's a lot of talk about like, obviously women, they do not want the women focused on gory things and like education. They just want them to be like focused on who the most handsome lord is and wearing their dresses and whatever. If you don't talk about those topics in the right tone, it can feel very and sound very childish and whiny. I feel like there's a very special way to talk about it, and I feel like the narrator's voice on the audio kind of sounds a little bit whiny to me when those points are brought up, so I feel like it's just better to read it so that I don't get icked by the book. But I'm gonna make some banana bread, so obviously I have to listen to it because I can't read it, and I'm trying to keep going. I was sitting right there reading for a little bit, but I want to keep going so that I can read Ali Hazelwood. And I feel like actually the way that I set everything up is perfect because as I get more tired, I feel like Ali Hazelwood's just like the perfect book because I will be tired and I don't know if my brain is really gonna work. Stalking Jack the Ripper, although it's YA, there are a lot of characters and you kind of like do have to be paying attention. Sleepy. It's 11:42, but my muffins are done. I ended up making muffins instead of loaf because the loaf takes like a longer time than this. I used the same recipe I used when I used to make banana bread during the pandemic. It tastes so nostalgic. Also use olive oil instead of vegetable oil. The best banana bread recipe I've ever had. I have it saved on my Pinterest if you want to see it. And I love that you don't have to take like a mixer out or anything. I just mixed it all with a fork. Also, update on Jack the Ripper. I have felt for like the past 10% like I'm ready for something to happen, I'm on chapter 18 now. I'm like a little bit over halfway done. I definitely had a different idea of how I thought the book was gonna go, but you know what this reminds me so much of? Caraval, the Caraval series. How it's written, like the sibling aspect, friends aspect, kind of like this whodunit type mystery. Also why I just like Caraval. It's reminding me, just the vibe, not like the storyline plot. Well, kind of like the mystery aspect is very similar, and how there are so many characters in this, just like Caraval, where they seem like they're bad people, but then they actually aren't. But you're like, are they? That's kind of what this is giving. Hoping now that I'm like now that I'm past the 50% mark, it's gonna start getting juicy. Like I kind of want my heart to be like racing, you know what I mean? Like I'm ready to like get into it. 18 hours in, Kaylin's already in bed, and I looked at him and I was like, I would love to get in bed right now. I really would. But I also am like excited to read this, have my muffins. Like it's a good night. This is kind of a vibe.
In a world of green, just like a dream, you and I standing wild and free, with petals so golden, the sun's warm kiss.
Okay, I just started chapter 23 and I got like halfway through. I'm gonna be really interested in what I rate this book. I genuinely thought when I bought this that I was gonna like absolutely be obsessed with it. Chapter 23, like a new character is introduced and he's like a medium seer. I don't like the vibes. I feel like it just went spooky for no reason. I don't like that. I don't like talking to spirits. No. So I skipped chapter 23. I have like 6 more chapters left. And I don't know, it might be a DNF after that. It genuinely might. So I'm gonna see what chapter 24 is talking about. What I do like at the beginning of each chapter, they tell you where you're at, like what location. And it says that this chapter, they're at a library, so they're no longer with the like medium or whatever. Yeah, I don't like that. I really don't like it. Oh, but I'm almost done. It's 1 in the morning officially. I had to brush my teeth, so I was listening to it. I've literally been either reading or listening like non-stop today for legitimately 19 hours and 32 minutes. I cannot believe this. I genuinely can't believe it. I have like, what, 4.5 hours left? Not too bad. Am I gonna have time for this? If I DNF this, probably, because I think I have so much going on. I kind of like reading on my Kindle for 24-hour challenges because it tells you how much longer you have and like how fast you need to be reading, which is kind of helpful because I'm like, okay, let's read. Like I definitely think I'm reading faster because I'm doing this challenge. Honestly, when I bought this book, I almost just went ahead and bought the entire series, and now I'm so glad I didn't because I'm not sure. Which sucks. It's like I'm just gonna keep reading and then I'll give you guys final thoughts because I don't want to like give a whole spiel, go on a rant, and then be like, wait, erase everything I said. So let's see if I can stay awake for another 4.5 hours. We made it to 2 in the morning. We're 20 hours and 30 minutes in, and I just finished stalking Jack the Ripper. And in this moment at 2 in the morning, I am between a 1 and a 2-star rating for this book. No. I think that I am gonna go to sleep though. I'm sorry. I just don't think staying up until 5:30, almost 6 o'clock in the morning is gonna be, I don't think I could do it, first of all. Like I genuinely don't. So I think I'm gonna pause it. And then I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm sorry, mother is sleepy. I feel like 2 o'clock, like we really like getting almost 21 hours into the 24-hour reading challenge. Like I'm pretty impressed with myself. Good morning, queens. I have to say, going to sleep last night was definitely the greatest plan last night because we have like a, what is that called? Like when you go on like a date with 3 other couples, like a group date, not a group date. You're all the same, The Bachelorette. Anyway, I didn't want like to be like have foggy brain. Where's my eyelash curler? I didn't want to have like brain fog and stuff and just be like tired and not in a good mood. I got a new Bible, so I think I'm gonna do some Bible studying first for like 30 minutes, and then we'll get into reading Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. Most mornings, this is what I love to do. My eyelashes, put on this e.l.f. Glowy SPF. I have a few favorite SPFs, but when I want like a glowy base, I love the e.l.f. one. And then I also love to do the Dr. Jart e.l.f. Plumper, what? Lip plumper, because it doesn't burn at all, so I don't mind doing it in the morning, like right when I wake up. I think it's, as long as you don't have any product on your lip or anything, it won't burn. You just put it on bare lips and it feels great. And then I go over that with some kind of color. Love these ones from YSL. First of all, they smell phenomenal. This is a shade 14. They smell like the juiciest, like I don't even know, it smells so good. Favorite hair product ever. Most of these like reactivating mists don't work on my hair. Like it's reactivating nothing. It's not looking good. Like it's frizzy after it dries. And anyway, I've been using this one. I also started using it on the boys because I'm like, wait, this is really, really good. It actually reactivates my hair back to its original state. I also feel like it dries really quickly. My hair is getting so long. I am boycotting haircuts in 2024. I am, because I need my hair to grow. Like it's kind of getting ridiculous at this point. My hair has been like the same length for years, even though I've been in the grow out process. And like, look at my bangs are finally, because I got bangs years ago and they're finally here, because every time I would get a haircut, I feel like we were cutting off a lot of my new growth. It's just like, it was bringing me back up here, bringing the bangs back up here. And I needed them to go quickly. So glad I went to sleep, because I feel like if I didn't, I would be like a zombie today. What's crazy about doing a 24-hour reading challenge is that I literally was not able to scroll on my phone at all. Like I would scroll a little bit while the audio was playing, but even that is kind of hard, because with audio, I really have to be paying attention. Otherwise the whole chapter will go by and I'll be like, oh, I was not paying attention at all. Oh, the other thing I like to do is specifically take this brow gel from Jones Road and run it through my brows. This is like a good fluffy brow product. I use this like most mornings. And then when I'm like really doing my brows, I normally go for the NYX brow glue. I feel like it just kind of helps me look a little bit more put together without actually wearing makeup. Literally could not wait to get out of bed so that I could eat my muffins for breakfast. Like that's just so cutie.
So strong a bliss, whispers of the breeze, secrets unfold. It's you that I need, it's you that I want. When the world gets cold, it's you and me. When the sun comes back, you'll see. Oh, dandelion, the strength that you've shown. Stronger each year, look how we hold on. Through the toughest of times, we still stand strong. Through pavement, we will grow.
We just hit 21 hours. Now I'm gonna start Not in Love. I'm so excited. Why does this say it's an erotic romance? The result is, I think, less of a rom-com and more of an erotic romance. Now, Ali, was that necessary though? Was that necessary? Like, okay, whatever, we're gonna see. I'm gonna read it and I'll let you know. I'm only 7 pages in, and the amount of characters immediately introduced was kind of confusing. So Rue is our main female character, who is going to be the female love interest. Then we have Tisha, who is Rue's best friend. And then we have Nyota, who is Tisha's younger sister, who lives in a different, she lives somewhere else. Rue and Tisha live in Texas, Austin. I think this is still gonna be a STEM romance. It's nanotechnology. So still like scientific, which I feel like I like Ellen Hildebrand's novels because they're all like Nantucket themed. And I really love Ellie Hazelwood's novels because they're all STEM themed. And I really love that. Like I love a specific setting for each book. Like you know what you're gonna get. Oh, and there's Florence. Florence is the CEO and founder of Klein.
The love that we share can never grow. You keep me warm and safe at night. No matter the season.
Paused the timer for a little bit to give my kids swim lessons, and so now I'm in my bathing suit. But I love this quote. It says, "I still remember the day in middle school when the realization dawned on me. If people perceived me as aloof and detached, then they would want to keep their distance. And if they kept their distance, then they wouldn't notice how nervous and blundering and inadequate I was." That's very relatable.
Always bloom, 'cause you light up the gloom. Oh, dandelion, the strength that you've shown.
We just hit 24 hours.
It's time for a little reading wrap up. A mosquito bit me on my foot, and I genuinely feel like that's the most disrespectful place to bite someone because like, you kind of can't itch it. Summer Affair, I feel like I've already talked about this book to death, but I would rate it 4 stars. I did read like some of the reviews on Goodreads, and a lot of people were not really happy with like, or they just like DNF'd it because they did not understand it. But I stand by what I said still. I think that Ellen wrote this story beautifully. A lot of the times when people do bad things like cheating on their spouses, they don't always cheat because they feel like they have a reason or because they hate their spouse or they're being cheated on, so they're kind of doing this like, I'm cheating because he cheated. Sometimes people just make bad decisions and they kind of get swept into it, you know, and before they know it, they're in a really bad position. A lot of people feel like Ellen let Claire off the hook, but I don't see that. I think Claire was stressed out. Do you think that this woman got a solid night's rest since the affair started? No. She had anxiety. She was scared she was gonna get caught. She was unhappy a lot of the times. It's very the grass is greener phenomenon where you think, oh, if I am just with this man, then he will be everything I need him to be. No, no man is ever gonna be everything you need him to be because they are human. Honestly, now that I think about it, this is a 5-star book. Like, I thought that it was such an interesting take on the scandal that is cheating and having affairs. You guys have to read it and let me know your thoughts because I would love to know. Then I read Tom Lake, What's Happening? I think I rated this one 4 stars as well, right? Beautiful storytelling, Meryl Streep was queen. I kind of already gave my thoughts on this, so I won't bore you guys any longer. 4 stars. I would recommend, but I recommend the audiobook. Again, I don't think I would like it as much if I would have just sat down and read it because it's not like very juicy, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of just a story. I read Stalking Jack the Ripper, which I've not given my thoughts on, and I'm still kind of in between a 1 and 2 star. I picked this book up because there was another Christian booktuber that really loved it, and I did not know that this is like a horror novel basically, and I feel like it actually was not scary at all up until chapter 23 where it was all about like mediums and talking to spirits. No, I don't mess with that. So it's gonna be a no for me. Don't recommend it. Frankly, I think it's demonic, so there we go. Picked up Not in Love by Ellie Hazelwood, and I am only 80 pages in, unfortunately, but I can give you guys my thoughts so far. I told you guys a little bit about the characters, but basically Rue is a scientist, but in like prolonging food storage or something like that. Like, I don't know, guys, it's very sciencey, okay? Anyway, then he basically works for this company that is buying out the company that she works for. And so this company sent in like 4 or 5 of its top employees are making sure that their investment in the company Klein that she works for is everything's up to par. But she's like, you guys are sketchy. Why would they send their most prominent people in the company? Like typically you wouldn't do that. She thinks that his company is trying to like steal the company out from under her boss, who's like her good friend. Both of them have siblings that they talk about, and so there's like that sibling relationship aspect. So far, I am liking it. I mean, I really can't say much because I'm only 80 pages in. My next video is going to be a week of reading new releases, so I will finish this in that video and give my full thoughts. I love the science, like I love the STEM. I know nothing about science, but I just love reading about it for some reason. I feel like it's the perfect setting. Here's my little stack for this video of books that I either completed or started, and I'm really happy about it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.